Hi everyone, right, welcome back to part 2 of putting the bike back together. And as I said in the previous video, this time we're going to be putting the wheels on. Whether I'll get around to putting all the brake calipers on or not, I don't know, but I'm going to concentrate on the front and rear wheels. Now, first things first, this is made a lot easier for me because I've got an ABBA Skylift. I'll stick a little thing up in the corner of the ABBA Skylift review that I did, but it is just an amazing bit of kit, and for jobs like this really does make it so much easier. I'll try and explain as I'm going through, if you haven't got the Skylift, then how you would actually do it, or if you would, to be fair, it's just going to be a paddock stand front or rear, and then you normally have to have a little piece of wood just to prop up the wheel while you're doing it. But I can do that with the Skylift. I can actually adjust it to suit pretty much. I think on the back one, to be fair, I think I still need to jiggle it about a little bit, maybe with a bit of wood underneath, but we'll see. I can't really remember. I've done it a few times, but I can't remember. Sign of getting old. But anyway, I'll show you as we go through. So let's get on with it. So. First thing to check, make sure you get it the right way around. There should be an arrow on it. I think there's one on the wheel actually. There it is there. So, I don't know if you can actually see that there. There's I'll just show you. There's a little arrow just there on the actual wheel. So we just need to make sure that it's the right way around. Get it roughly into the right position there. Now we have 2 spacers, both the same size, so it doesn't matter which one goes where. And I always just put a tiny bit of grease just on the inside. And then just put a little bit on that face there. The reason for that is it just helps to keep it in place there. Then, so what we're going to do, make sure we don't get any grease on the tyres. We'll just line it up. Roughly. And then we just drop down slightly. Too much there. Better off going too low. Actually, no. Yeah, just slightly. So if I just go up slightly, and again with the actual axle, tiny bit of grease. And then we're just going to locate through. As you can see, that goes nice and straight forward, straight in. And then you have to have one of these contraptions. It's like a big Allen key, so it's let's get it. So it's the 17mm on this one, and then that takes, I believe, a 14mm socket. Yeah, it does. So we just put that on there. And then actually a torque setting on there, which I believe to be let's have a look. Front sprocket. No, front wheel axle. 65 Newton meters. So. It's so hard to read these. There we go. So do it up until okay. Now the next part we have to put the clamp bolts in here. So I always just put a little bit of Loctite on them, or thread lock we'd probably call it. I've given these just a little bit of a clean up on the wire wheel, just to make them look a little bit better. Those are, I believe, 6mm. Yep, they are. Now the torque setting on these is 22 Newton meters. So just check that. Newton meters, 22. There we go. So what I'll do now is I'll just lift it up just to make sure it's free spinning. Perfect. One thing I'll just add quickly is when removing these, you may sound a little bit obvious, but you have to take off the brake calipers to actually get the wheel off. I'm just going to leave them off at the moment because I haven't actually cleaned them out yet, and I'm probably going to do that in a different video. I'll probably put all of those on when I actually bleed the front brakes. So but as far as I'm concerned, that's okay. The only other thing I've got to do is put the motor on. Around. And there we go. So that's the front wheel all done, ready for the brake calipers to go on. So moving on to the back wheel now. Right, now onto the back one. Now this one is a little bit more awkward because we have to take into consideration the brake getting on at the same time, because the brake caliper sits in here. We've got a few more spacers on it, and we also have to get the chain on. So first things first, this one you can only get one way round, obviously because of the sprocket, but let's so that's in there. That needs to now go up. That's it. That space is in there. That just needs a little bit of tweaking. That's it. Now we've got all the spaces in the right places. Put the chain on. Then it's a case of just lining everything up. That was made a bit of a faff of that actually, I think. But so again, a little bit of grease. So that bit goes through there. We should be able to see. So if I pull that back slightly, should hopefully be able to fit that. There we go. It needs to just come up very slightly. That's it. And then up a bit more. No, down a bit, sorry. I have to just lift it a bit. That's it. Oh. There we go. Whew. So I think I made a bit of a faff of that, but now that goes in there. We then get for the other side another one of the billets, washer, lock nut. So billet goes in like so. Okay. Right, let's just lift it up. So it's just a visual check now really. You're always going to feel a little bit of rubbing on the pad, brake pads. Just need to make sure that both of those billets there are hard up against the chain adjusters. There. And then we do that sprocket up there, which I think, I can't remember the size, good guess, 27mm. I will double check the torque setting in a second. Just make sure that that's running nice and true, which it is. Everything's in line, good. So, torque setting. Rear axle nut, 110 Newton meters. Whoa, it's quite a lot. Newton meters. So, there we go. Right, I'm just going to lift it all the way up now, just to double check everything. Okay. Visual check, everything's running, seems to be running smooth. I've given the chain a good clean beforehand. I will check the chain adjustments. What I tend to do is, once I've got everything back together again, I do sort of like a shakedown run. So I just take it for a couple of miles, just warm it up for everything, and then just come back and just double check all the adjustments and things like that. So yeah, so quite pleased with that now that the wheels are finally back on. It starts to look more like a motorbike again, which is good. Right, so we'll call that number 2. So number 3 will be clean the brakes, put those on and bleed them, and probably do the rear one at the same time. So anyway, I hope you find these of interest, you know. So obviously I'm no professional at doing these filming things, but I just try my best. So any questions or comments, then drop them in the bottom in the comments below, and till then I'll see you next time. Cheers, thanks for watching.